Twin flame union means your spirit parts brought together. For some, they have every part inside themselves in this incarnation already, but they can become conscious of that and harmonized in it. For some, there are many more parts than two, and they are ordered in pairs, with potentially a third part in that pair that is their child. For the very, very, very most, there is only one other twin flame from the complementary expression. I thought it would be a good idea to reassess the question, what is a twin flame? What are they? What is twin flame union? And what are some basics that need to be addressed for you to have a correct understanding? This was already a little bit of an introduction, and I also made some pictures to talk about, so I hope this helps. This is the first one that I want to talk about. Now, when we talk about twin flames, we talk about something spiritual. So a lot of the times it will sound like, oh, that is something of the soul. It's of the intangible part of ourselves. But then it depends on what you mean, and it depends on what kind of invisible part you mean and what kind of name you give it. I think for me always soul was a very good word to use. But it was very connected to how I learned to work with my energy body in the yoga and meditation work I did with my first spiritual teacher. And the twin flame was not necessarily taught there, although it would be the thing that came into your experience when you felt harmonized. But how that came into your experience and what that would exactly be like and what that would exactly do was not necessarily addressed in itself. It is true that when you are harmonized in your energy field, truly, genuinely, and completely, your bigger whole parts, in other words, your twin flame union parts, in other words, your spirit parts, more about the terminology in a second, will be attracted to you. That's true. I will say more about this later. But that's how I came to understand the word soul. It is very much connected to your energy body. It is very much connected to you as an individual person and with the subtle and invisible parts of you as an individual body and an individual energy body. Now in my drawing you could say that this man, and this is a woman anyway, or divine feminine, divine masculine, doesn't matter. This is a person, and they have a body. Look, they have a head and no arms in this case for the sake of making it easy, and they have legs, all right. And then they have actually an inner core, and that's symbolized here with this sun. And that means that their energy comes from within them and is really there. And it actually comprises their whole body. Their body is actually, because this energy is pouring out around, in and around them, this energy is enveloping the whole physical body. And this drawing, this man here, this human being, is more a drawing of his energy field only. This is the bigger energy field of him, and you could really say that is his aura, all right. And the energy body is maybe more like what's inside of him, or like more close to the physical boundaries kind of thing. But, you know, we could talk about that all day long. What's the energy? What's the soul? What's the aura? What is inside? What is outside? It is an energy being in itself. And it makes sense that it is a soul. And here you see, of course, the very same. Now, for the very, very most people, there are two such bodies with an energy body being born in the world, walking around in the world. So, and that means that the entirety of this drawing here actually connects to another level of invisible existing, and that is connected here in the heart. So this entirety connects to another layer. It is not only you that has an energy body, but you're connected back with your energy body and all, and the other energy body and all, as a collective invisible field, connected back to something bigger. And that something bigger is perhaps able to be called spirit. And I came to the conclusion for myself that that would actually be a good way of referring to this bigger layer, like one level up, so to speak, and call that, with the heart, call that the spirit level. That's where they both come from, belonging together as one unit of a twin flame union, what we call a twin flame union. And to call the layer inside of that the soul layer, one layer lower, so to speak. So this is the soul, this is the soul, and then they form one unit within that invisible layer in the spirit level. But I do not necessarily at this point need to lay that down as law, that these words are used only like that. It's all soul. Yeah, I think that's a good way to talk about it too. I don't necessarily exclude that. When you want to say it's all spirit, I don't necessarily exclude that. But I do currently think that that is a good terminology to sort of distinguish those layers, and therefore say more about how they are actually created and how that works. Now, I already said that this is what is most common, a divine feminine and divine masculine physical expression with their own soul and their own energy body being born in the world and being attracted to each other when they are harmonized on this level, but actually on this level. Well, maybe we'll say more about that later. So this is what is happening most. But there are existing examples that have all expression in one person. If that person has a physical body with female or male genitalia, that doesn't really matter that much. They do have all their spirit parts in one incarnation. That's a choice that they made. Can happen, but it's very rare. It can also happen that there is not only two expressions, divine feminine, divine masculine, as complementary within that whole under the spirit layer in this level, but there's also a third expression that would be like standing here or something, and that would be their child. It does exist. And that child can be divine feminine or divine masculine. And that is very rare. What also can potentially exist is that we have more of these pairs in one twin flame union, in one this layer under that layer. We have more pairs that do exist in this order of the hierarchy of creation. And it can even be that there are more pairs with child, a couple of them, in one unit of this level. That exists too. But they will always be pairs, and the child will always be a child. They don't interchange relationship. They belong in pairs. This happens, but it's very, very rare. So that's not going to be you. Most probably. So to say more about this, I'm going to go to another drawing. We're now going up one level, and here you're going to see that we have the spirit level of the other drawing again here, and we're going to see that they actually came from a ray of light that came out of the big spiritual light source that is the source of all, or the divine, or the universe, or God, or the intelligent order principle of everything that is, or however you want to refer to it. So this spirit level under which this twin flame union exists, or twin flame one person, or twin flame multiple person, in very, very rare cases. But there's actually more. You know, here are all the other rays of light that come from the central spiritual sun. But there's more actually going on here, because this heart is secretly for this, that's said jokingly, for this explanation video, actually holds even more things of an order here than I had been drawing, because here actually there could be said to be a bigger ray of light that is the ray of light of your soul family, and that comes down here in the heart. And your soul family is a group of related unions. Whether those unions consists of one person, two complementary twin flames, what we think is normal and it is the norm, or tri-flames, or multiple flames, both in the multiple category. That is your unit. And then in your soul family, there are multiple units. And let's say that they are grouped in a circle. So this heart would actually be a sort of a circle in this part of the order of creation, with a couple of twin flame unions that could inside of them have those different possibilities. And when they belong together in this grouping, that is a soul family. On the journey, you could potentially meet people from your soul family too. Well, should you have soul family members in your reality and you also are a multiple flame, then things could become a little more complicated in figuring out who is who. But since it is very rare to have a multiple flame, but it is quite normal to have a soul family. Think about soul family in that case. So that was a little more about how it works in the order of creation, and I really hope that helps you. So what we're talking about is we want to bring together our spirit parts together and have them magnetized together, because that feels good, it feels best, and you're best equipped to do life and to manifest all that you can desire and to give back to the world from a very pure place. You will be a beautiful healer when you have this in order. So to bring these spirit parts back together, we do the work, we do the inner work, we do the twin flame journey, right? And when we have this established, then we can also establish our mission business and call in our abundance, that is your birthright abundance as a soul pair that belong so much together that they are true twin flames, that are one on the spirit level. And because you fulfilled your journey, they are close together and they do live intimately together as one. So that's what we want. Now to go there and to reach that, you can think of a methodology, all right? How are we going to do that? Well, the reasoning of your methodology can stem from two places. It can stem from my spirit level, my one with God level. We are in truth already one with God on that level, higher up, so to speak, right, in the order. And by assuming that truth already right now, I will express that in every situation, and more I will also live that, and that will attract them to me. Now, another entrance point for healing and methodology is your soul level. I am a divine feminine, and I start to work on feeling good in my energy, feeling relaxed in my energy, embracing all that I am in this expression, embracing my entire shiny expression in all parts of daily life, in all parts of my body, in everything that I am. That is a whole journey in itself. And when I feel harmonized and I have all these parts in a deep relaxation, so deep that I can actually connect them back in the core of them to that layer while I'm staying here, that is a beautiful approach to what twin flames need as well. Two kinds of approaches that both are very helpful. Now, the first approach that I said that was connected back to the spirit level, that is what I would call the master's approach. Or when we talk about methodology, more the divine masculine methodology. Or the Christed methodology. When we're talking about this energy field and living inside of it and feeling good inside of it and connecting that eventually also back to the spirit level fully, that is what I would call the more divine feminine attuned approach. Not as a twin flame or a person, but the approach is divine feminine. It would be more like the energy approach. It would be more like what I would call the magician's approach. Now, what are we doing right here in what I stand for? I personally, Petra, stand for this approach coming from the energy field and body. And I also have even an updated energy approach, energy field and healing field energy system that is connected to that bigger whole, and that sounds a little different than you may be used to. And I work together with the energies of the Christed method. And I can also, because I co-create with that, equally guide you in that methodology fully and completely as well. So that's an addition for where I stand for and what we do here. And of course, my being here in the energy and magician's approach is connected to that higher level approach. That's why it is also different than you might be used to from, let's say, Vedic, yogic approaches or what have you. And the fact that I've been initiated to co-create with the Christed approach from the Spirit means that I have been fully attuned to doing that as well. This has transformed the way I stand here. So that's about methodology that I stand for. And I hope that helps as well. When we talk about doing the key tool, which is really the central and most easy way to do your inner work, and you can do it in our community, come to our Facebook group to download very important documents that are so easy to use, and report back about your inner work as well and be supported about it. When you look into what we have in that community about the 4-step key tool for your twin flame inner work, then you also can see with more understanding what that says when you have seen now how I talk about the methodologies. There's so much to say about that, but that doesn't really matter for you that much, so I'm just going to keep it here. I also have written books about all of this, so if you really want to go deeper, then I advise you to buy those books and read them. They're ebooks. So what is the synthesis of what we are doing here? Well, I'm now going to say something that may surprise you, but essentially, in the end, I don't really care about this theory, because when you have fulfilled the entire journey and you stand there, live there, are there, you have arrived, then you just start to integrate all these elements and feel them and be them. And it is, for me, it is really to do about being that, yes, on that level, on that ascended level, fully integrated in the energy body with the soul. That is a way of living that it is about. And I care about that. I care about you actually living your life in full on all these layers at the same time, in the now. And when you are there, it doesn't really matter anymore. You understand? Now you've integrated it. And yes, maybe you're integrating it more and more and more. So you're becoming more and more and more of yourself. And that's what I'm interested in. Being there, having arrived there, and becoming more and more and more of yourself, so that you can share more and more to other people. And that is where we start to do fun things such as write books, make art, build a mission business, have a great sexual life with ourselves and our twin flames. Create a family that is so satisfying for every participant in it. That's what we start to do there on that level, so to speak. So what I learned over time and through making many mistakes is that I first need to bring you there, and then we can talk about all these things such as attuning your daily life, building your mission business, etc., etc. And at the same time, having said that, I would love to take you with me on a journey that has so many beautiful expressions in the programs that you can participate in that are already attuned to all of this, where you can arrive and where it can bring you, so that you can taste from all of that richness, from where you are now, go deeper and deeper, and also come alive in the energy and beingness and reality of what this is actually all about. And it will be your new norm, your new normal. It will be not special. It will be just you coming alive as who you truly are, in the core, on all levels at the same time. And I very much invite you to come do that with me and with us. Yeah. So beautiful. And I know that you can already hear that inner wisdom that is whispering to you from the depth of what you are, what you already are. And to listen to that whispering voice will help you right now with your current challenge. And you can start to listen to that inner wisdom that you have in this guided meditation that I will send you to. And when you listen to me, you can follow that and have at the end, very quickly, your piece of advice tailored to uniquely you. And I will see you there.